Hi, I'm Andrew Allen and welcome to a brief market update for the quarter ending June 2020. What an amazing roller coaster ride we've had over the last 3 months. Obviously, the resilience of the Gladstone marketplace really has shone despite our industry being in virtual lockdown since the end of March. At the end of March, we were told to go home, no open homes, and cancel all your auctions. We resorted to running individual property inspections, one buyer or tenant at a time. It was certainly a very challenging time during those restrictions, as it was for many industries. However, despite that, we saw extreme resilience in the Gladstone market, an absolute surge of buyer inquiry during that period. Over the period, we saw a surge in the number of homes transacted, despite the fact it was difficult to show people. And I think that really came from a real lack of supply in the market. A balanced market is certainly what we're seeing at the moment. That lack of supply with a relatively stable volume of demand has pushed up prices over the quarter. So over the quarter, or over the year indeed, we've seen median house price rise of 3.9%. Certainly a refreshing change to the years and years of constant declines across the Gladstone market. Likewise, in the unit market, we're starting to see some green shoots there, with the data showing us the median price has hit $171,000 for a Gladstone unit, up 0.3% annualised. As I mentioned, we saw strong demand from tenants also. Vacancy rates across the Gladstone region are now being quoted at 1.6% across the board. In fact, our internal office vacancy rate hit 0.4% for 2 weeks during the month of June. The lowest vacancy rates we've seen across the Gladstone market since the days of the LNG construction. One of the most interesting trends to witness across the lockdown period was the surge in online inquiry. You might be able to see the chart here that demonstrates a huge uplift in the number of people looking for homes online and inquiring for properties online. So certainly something we didn't expect to see during the shutdown period, and really speaks to the strong demand that's out there. Another interesting step that we took during the lockdown period was to implement the virtual inspections on our properties. Virtual inspections with FaceTime, Zoom, Google Hangouts, and also 360-degree virtual tours of property enabled both buyers and tenants to transact on property without physically being able to inspect. I think overall you've seen a huge change in the way we operate across the real estate industry over the last 3 months, and many changes that are likely to be here to stay. So really positive signs in the Gladstone market despite what's been going on. You could certainly be forgiven for thinking that now is a terrible time to attempt to sell or rent your property. We're actually seeing the opposite. With tight stock levels and relatively strong demand, it certainly looks like a great time to be selling into the market, and probably the best time we've seen to be selling into the market for several years. I know prices are not where we want them to be. However, with the current data being released, it certainly demonstrates upward movement in the market. All the best.